Hello everyone, I am Dr. M. Harish Babu, Department of Language, Culture and Society, SRM IST RAMAPURAM. In this video, we are going to see the book review by my students on the topic of 1984 by George Orwell. Here we go.
Right. So, guys, me and my teammates here have decided to do a book review on the topic, on the book 1984 by George Orwell, right? So firstly, I'll be starting with the character analysis. So what we have here is a list of 4 major parties in the actual book itself. To start with, we have our main protagonist of the actual book, Winston Smith. So Winston is an ordinary layman just like every one of us. He goes to his job, he does his work truthfully, honestly, and to the best of his ability, right? So basically what his job entails is that he is a librarian in the historical book of records of the Ministry of Truth, right? So what his job description is that basically he has to alter the actual events that happened in history, replacing them with the falsified events given by the big party. And this does not align with his core values. He does not want to do this at all. He silently rebels against the oppressive government, and he represents the human desire for truth, freedom and individuality. Secondly, we have Julia, Winston Smith's love interest in this particular book. So Julia is the stark opposite of Winston Smith. So Julia is a bold, rebellious and practical character. Her resistance to the party is personal, unlike Winston, whose need is about rebellion. She values individual pleasure and independence, showing that rebellion can take many forms. Next up, we have the antagonist, which is O'Brien. So O'Brien is essentially a high-level political authority within the Big Brother party, and what he is basically that he initially approaches Winston with a calm, friendly, allied mindset, and post the intermission of the actual book, what he does is he reveals his true colors and shows that how he is actually very loyal to the Big Brother party, and that he's just using Winston as a bait, right? So coming to the final character present in the book, we have Big Brother. So the Big Brother is essentially the totalitarian government present within the book. So they represent absolute power, persuasive surveillance, and the party's psychological control over society. Right, so coming to the elements of the novel itself. So firstly, we have the plot. The plot follows Winston's actual rebellion from a loyal worker to a person who is very insightful against the actual party, and his doomed attempt to find the truth and freedom, which results in his eventual torture. So the actual conflict presented in this book is that Winston's individual thoughts and his need for freedom versus the oppressive rule of the party. And the tone is a dark, oppressive and cautionary. The narrative evokes a sense of constant dread and warning for the future. The narrative style of the book is third person, providing deep insight into Winston's emotions and thoughts, while highlighting the pervasive societal control.
Setting of the novel. The novel is set in Oceania, especially in Airstrip 1. Atmosphere is break, control and constantly motion. Telescreen ensured constant surveillance, though police suppressed distance. The setting reflects a world where freedom is non-existent, language is restricted, and truth is manipulated, painting a chilling picture of a tolerant state.
Now we are going to talk about the themes of the novel. Major themes: totalitarianism, the extreme dangers of absolute political and control, unchecked power; surveillance, continuous monitoring eliminates privacy and individual freedom; manipulation of the truth, who controls the past controls the future; the party's power to rewrite the history; loss of identity, the party's systematic destruction of independent thought and emotion; rebellion and hope, Winston's struggle and embodies the human need for truth even in oppressive environments. The minor themes: love as resistance, personal connections as an act of defiance, psychology torture, the party's method of breaking down individuals, Power and correction. How absolute power inevitably corrupts.
Theory. They have no theory, political theory, physical analysis theory, mixers theory, postmodern theory. Political theory explains misuse of power, propaganda, and fear of the total in this government. Physical theory explores manipulation and brainwashing technique and fear condition. Highlights the record classes divisions and between the inner party, outer party, and the propellers. Questions concepts of the reality, truth, and language multiplication network, news speak, and a double thing.
Let's see about the author George Orwell. The Eric Arthur Blair was an influential English novelist, journalist, and critic. He is best known for his powerful works Animal Farm in 1984. Orwell patiently wrote about Operation Social Injustice and the dangers of misuse to power. His experience during was an observation of dictatorships profoundly shaped his strong anti-totalitarian views. His legacy continues to warm against authoritarianism and advocate for intellectual freedom. He was born on June 25, 1930.
Well, this novel explains about the consequences of power in wrong hands. Orwell illustrates freedom, truth, individuality can be destroyed under the wrong and uneducated power. Relevance. These days, the novel remains a crucial reminder to protect these democracy, privacy, and fundamental human rights.
Hey,